I'm standing outside of the city of David right now, and I just want you to be aware that today the city of David is not part of the ancient city of Jerusalem. Behind me over here in front is the walls of the city. As a matter of fact, that's the Temple Mount, also known as Moriah. The road that we see here in front of us is called the Milo, and we know that David built as far as this road. So the city of David extended as far as this road behind me here. It's very important for you to realize that the actual old city of today is excluding any part that was the original city of David. So right here at the top of the city of David, not far from where I'm standing, David would put what is known as the Tabernacle of David with, of course, the Ark of the Covenant that he brought back into the city. This was all conquered by David in the year 1000 BC approximately, and it was from the Jebusites that he conquered it and made this the capital spiritually and politically for the 12 tribes. It was a neutral area between the northern tribes in the north and, of course, Judah and Simeon in the south, and this is actually on the cusp of Benjamin. So it was an idyllic place. I like to say to people, this was Washington, D.C., 1000 BC. Okay, I'm standing on the edge of the Kidron Valley. The Kidron Valley was about 90 feet deeper in the time of the Lord, almost 30 meters. Today, of course, it's been filled up by all the rubble, and behind me you can see the Mount of Olives. But why was this the idyllic place for David to establish his kingdom? There had to be something here. And that, of course, was known as the Gihon Spring. So we're about to go down to the source of why the city of Jerusalem was ever built here. And remember, this original name of this city was Zion. In 2 Samuel chapter 5, we have the story of the conquering of Jerusalem, which at that time was known as Yebus. And we have, it says in verse 7, nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion, that is the city of David. Now David said on that day, whoever climbs up by the way of the water shaft and defeats the Jebusites, he shall be chief and captain. So that's where we're going. We're going down to see the water shaft. Everything to do with this city has to do with this water source, which at that time was the largest water source in all of Judea, and it was a year-round water source. As I've already mentioned, the Gihon Spring, also known as the Coughing Spring. Right under the visitor center, that's where we're standing now, we see the foundation of an enormous building. And this had to be David's palace. We know that Hiram sent the cedars of Lebanon to build this palace. And of course, later on, he'll send those cedars for the temple. So as we look around, we're seeing the foundation of what is believed to be David's original palace here in the city of David. Okay, behind me is a very elaborate, up and up kind of neighborhood that was adjacent to, of course, David's palace here. I like to imagine that it was Bathsheba's palace. Of course, she was the wife of a famous general who would have been living close to his commander, which was, of course, David. So that's what we see behind us here, including this elaborate area is the oldest toilet seat the world has ever known. Okay, dating back to the 7th century BC. Real luxury. Okay, one of the newest excavations here in the city of David has unearthed the famous Greek Acra. And that's what we're seeing here is the enormous tower below me. Also Roman period times with beautiful mosaics, even going back much earlier than that. This is just an old parking lot that they started to dig up, and it's one of the problems here in the city of David. Wherever we put in a pickaxe, we find a very important find.